Have you ever stopped to wonder what really happens at the moment of death? When everything we know fades away, what remains? I am Lucius Eternus, a silent guide, a witness to those final hours of life as souls cross the line between life and death. Today, you'll hear the story of a woman who went to the other side and met her ancestors. I invite you to join me on a transformative journey, one that transcends fear and uncertainty and brings us closer to what lies beyond our understanding.
In shadows I walk, I've been here from the start. I am the hand that seals fate, the end of every...
Picture a cold room where a single flickering flame casts shadows on the walls, and the distant sound of a cutting wind echoes through, intensifying a sense of mystery and isolation. This is where Maya's journey begins, a journey of struggle, loss, and redemption. A story that reveals how, even in the darkest moments, there's always a light waiting to be found. Walk with me as I tell the tale of Maya, a lost soul searching for something she couldn't quite name. Like many, she sought answers in places where none existed, only to discover they lay far beyond anything she ever imagined. This is the journey of a soul, seen through my eyes that have watched over life and death for centuries. If you have the courage to join me, you'll see that death is not the end, but a doorway to something far greater. And today, together, we'll uncover what happens when a soul chooses to change its destiny. Night at the Blue Velvet Club, Chicago. The place is packed tight, smoke hanging thick in the air, and the deafening music making it nearly impossible to hear your own thoughts. Maya, desperate to escape her reality, makes a reckless choice. She takes a pill from a stranger in a dark corner, a choice that would push her to the brink of death. With the pulsing beat of the music thudding in the background and flashing lights flickering around her, Maya examines the pill. It's worn, with an opaque substance inside. She hesitates for a moment before popping it into her mouth and swallowing. Her heart races as she struggles to look calm and collected, completely unaware that what she just ingested is far more dangerous than she could ever imagine. A tingling sensation sweeps over her body, followed by a sudden weightlessness. It's disorienting, like gravity has lost its grip on her, and the air around her turns icy cold, sending chills across her skin. A faint, distant hum fills her ears. Maya feels herself slipping out of her body, floating above the physical world she once knew. What should have been a moment of panic becomes something else entirely, a state of calm, almost soothing relief. I see Maya's body below, collapsed on the club floor, surrounded by people wearing faces of shock and fear. Some shout for help, others are frozen in place, but all these emotions are miles away from her. Right then, she senses my presence. I am an observer, a guide who doesn't interfere, but quietly shows the path forward. And so, she feels a pull, a force drawing her away from the chaos of the club, into a space of absolute stillness, where everything she thought mattered dissolves into an all-encompassing, welcoming silence. Maya is enveloped by a soft light, shimmering like the first rays of dawn. At the threshold between the physical and the spiritual, she feels a peace she hasn't known in years. It's like a serene melody, barely audible, playing all around her, filling her with a sense of belonging and unconditional love. She's floating above everything she knew, feeling no pain, no fear. Just a tranquil emptiness, as she drifts further and further from the world that once held her tight. As Maya rises out of her body, the chaos of the Blue Velvet Club fades into something beyond human understanding. Darkness shifts into an open field, softly lit by a golden light. Yet, the silence feels eerie, making Maya question her place there. At first, she feels small, like she doesn't quite belong. She tries to speak but can't, moving forward only by the pull of an invisible force that seems to know more than she does. I sense this struggle. It's common for me, Lucius Eternus, to witness souls facing the unknown for the first time. As she walks through the field, shapes slowly emerge from the mist, her ancestors. The air feels heavier, a chill runs through her. These familiar yet unknown faces are calm, wise, carrying both love and pain, as if they understand Maya's journey in ways she can't. She hesitates, torn between fear and hope, longing for belonging but feeling guilt and shame. The weight of her past feels exposed under their gaze. What if they judge me? She wonders, though no sound escapes her. I guide her gently, a whisper in her heart, do not be afraid. This is your moment of redemption. She doesn't hear the words but feels their truth, knowing her mistakes don't define her. Hesitation turns into courage, and she steps forward. The ancestors reach out, and Maya feels their touch as warmth flooding her soul, forgiveness, acceptance, unconditional love. It's a new feeling, like every wrong turn and desperate night has found a purpose only this experience could reveal. Surrounded by spirits, she sees flashes of her life, holding her mother's hand as a child, laughing with friends before it all went wrong, mistakes piling up, leading her to the blue velvet. Her life unfolds without judgment, just a path that led her here. The light pulses like a heartbeat, and Maya feels a change within, as if freeing herself from her past. She understands this isn't a farewell, but a reminder of who she is and what she can overcome. Each figure represents a story, a struggle, passed down through generations. I watch in silence, knowing Maya feels the truth. The love she searched for outside was always within, reflected in her ancestors' eyes. This is her turning point, deep acceptance, a transformation with no turning back. The light grows, wrapping her in warmth. Maya feels guided toward something beyond life and death. And then, as they came, the ancestors fade away like dust, leaving Maya surrounded by light, a light calling her to continue the journey. She takes one last look at their loving faces, and, guided by the gentle whisper of my presence, she moves forward. Maya floats within this vast sea of light, a living presence that wraps around her like a warm embrace. It's not just a place of peace, but one of revelation, as if each particle holds a hidden truth of the universe. And then, she senses it, a being made of pure light and love. It has no defined form, yet it feels as if it has eyes that know every part of her and love her without condition. For a moment, joy washes over Maya, so intense that it erases all the pain that led her here. She wishes she could stay forever, dissolving into this light. The relief is so powerful that tears start to flow. But there's also a tension within her, a subtle fear. Will this peace last? Do I deserve this love? Can I stay here? She wonders. As Lucius, I watch this transformation, and I can feel her hesitation. Maya stands before something so many souls long for, a complete surrender to peace. But her journey isn't over yet. The light shifts ever so slightly, and Maya senses this change deeply, as if the being is saying, it's not your time yet. She feels the message like a wave of sorrow, the desire to remain here and escape all the pain she's endured. But why? Why return to life? The light wraps around her even more tightly, and Maya realizes she has a choice, not to stay, but to accept the return as part of something greater. The tension rises within her. She resists, her heart aches with the thought of going back to suffering. But then, another wave of peace reaches her, carrying with it a sense of purpose she's never known. Gently, the light seems to whisper, there's something more for you to do, something to learn and share. Maya feels her chest tighten. The decision is heavy, but she understands she has to go back. The being of light sends one last feeling of love, a soft touch to her soul, reassuring her she's not alone. Then, slowly, the light begins to retreat, like a silent sunset fading away. Maya feels the warmth and tranquility slip away, but the love, that remains. And so, I, Lucius Eternus, watch as she begins to descend, returning to her body. This spiritual journey wasn't the end for Maya, but an awakening. She will return to the world of the living, changed, no longer the person she was, but someone who has touched the infinite, and now carries that light within. When the light fades, Maya feels a sudden drop, as if yanked back by something unseen. The warmth, the peace, the silence, all gone. In their place, thick darkness. And then, just like that, she's back. The cold, hard floor of the Blue Velvet Club presses against her, like an electric shock through her body. Her lungs burn as she gasps for air, each breath rough, filled with smoke and sweat, as if the air is suffocating her. She struggles to open her eyes, but the strobing lights make her head spin. Everything is loud and chaotic, sounds and lights crashing all at once. Maya feels a weight in her chest, a heaviness pushing her back into a world she no longer wanted. Hands are around her, voices speaking, but the words are lost in the noise. The peace she felt moments ago, that warmth, now seems so distant, like a fragile dream breaking apart. Why did I come back? She wonders, trying to gather strength. She longs for that place where things made sense, where pain didn't exist. I should have stayed. Frustration swells inside, so intense she wants to scream, but no sound escapes. Her mouth is dry, with a bitter taste, regret, the weight of wrong choices pressing even harder. I, Lucius Eternus, watch in silence. I see her pain, her disappointment at being pulled back into what she fought to forget. Maya doesn't know it, but her soul is torn. The anger and sorrow crash like waves, but underneath, something stirs, a spark of awareness planted by her spiritual encounter. Gradually, the sounds around Maya sharpen, the music pounding like a heartbeat, voices calling her name. Then a deeper sound, one she feels more than hears, her own heavy breathing, every gasp filled with the agony of being back. Her fingers touch the floor, its rough coldness grounding her in the present. Every muscle aches, gravity pulling her down, and all she wants is to escape again. But in the confusion, a memory lingers, a faint sense of something warm, like the last ray of sun on a cold day. She tries to hold on, but it slips away, fragile yet still there, a sense that something's changed, a new purpose, even if she doesn't know what it is. I see the conflict in her eyes. She's back in reality, but it's different now. A new shade, a new shadow. And for now, disillusionment is all she feels. But Maya's journey is far from over. The months after Maya's return felt like a free-fall. She searched for peace, but alcohol was her only refuge. Every night, she sank deeper, bar after bar, bottle after bottle. The memory of the light she once felt became a burden, a longing for something just out of reach. Each day, she lost herself a little more, spiraling into self-destruction. One night, in a rain-soaked alley, Maya hit rock bottom. The place was suffocating, wet ground, garbage stench. She was alone, gripping an empty bottle, feeling the rough wall against her back. The world seemed to close in, the weight of life pressing down. She sat there, legs pulled to her chest, head in her hands, and cried. Pain and emptiness blended together, like the alley itself was swallowing her whole. Is this it? She thinks, tears streaming down. Every second felt endless, each heartbeat a reminder of how lost she was. She wished she could disappear into the darkness, leave no trace. Then, a thought. She remembers the light, that brief moment of unconditional love. A memory piercing through the darkness. She feels my presence, Lucius Eternus, not pushing, just revealing. There's a choice, a way out. For a moment, the alley doesn't feel so dark. That memory lights a path, if only briefly. Maya knows she needs to change. She looks at the empty bottle, and without thinking, throws it. The glass shatters, small but powerful. For the first time, she chooses differently. She doesn't know if she'll make it, but there, in the garbage and darkness, she decides to try. The light may seem distant, but now she knows it's there. And that's enough for her to stand and start walking. That night in the alley, something shifted within Maya. The next morning, despite the pounding headache and heavy body, she felt a new determination, a need to start over. For the first time, she sought real help. She found a support group and, unsure of what to expect, walked into her first Alcoholics Anonymous meeting. She felt exposed when she entered, but she stayed. Sitting in the back, she listened as others shared stories, some of struggle, some of triumph. The applause at the end of each meeting felt strange, like it was for people who were strong, not someone like her. But she kept coming back. And slowly, she found her voice. As Maya started sharing her story, every word spoken, every tear shed, made her feel more connected. Sobriety wasn't instant, it was a daily choice. On tough days, when the urge to drink felt overwhelming, she'd remember that moment of peace, the light, the loving presence, and my constant whisper. Her near-death experience wasn't just a memory, it was a guide. During AA, Maya questioned the meaning of God and love. Not as distant concepts, but as something felt in smiles and embraces after meetings. Every conversation was a glimpse of that light she'd touched, somewhere between life and death. When tempted to fall back, Maya would hold a smooth stone, a piece of that alley. It became her symbol of transformation, reminding her that even at rock bottom, there was a choice. She committed to it, not just for herself, but for others. Over time, she began supporting others in AA, offering words, listening, and kindness. Little by little, Maya changed, not in one grand moment, but steadily. Each sober day was a victory, a chance to rekindle her inner light and share it with others still lost in darkness. Years passed, and Maya transformed in ways she never thought possible. AA became her foundation, turning her from someone seeking help to someone offering it. Every meeting became a place to share and be heard, and over time, Maya realized how much her story mattered. She saw it in the eyes of those who came in, eyes that mirrored the fear she once felt. After one meeting, a young man told her that hearing her words stopped him from drinking that night. That was when Maya understood the light she now carried. But the journey was never easy. Each sober day was a choice, a small victory. There were days when the urge to give in felt overwhelming. But always, something, a smile, a memory of that light, a small act of kindness, kept her going. The light from her near-death experience stayed with her, a steady flame guiding her steps, reminding her that transformation is a choice you make every day. I, Lucius Eternus, watch from afar as Maya embraces this path. The light she found has become part of her, a growing force with every act of kindness and hope. Maya's journey is one we all share, searching for light in the darkness. Each choice is a new beginning, a chance to reignite our spirits and spark others. And so, the journey continues. It doesn't end, it evolves. Until the day Maya draws her last breath and we meet again, she will walk with that small, steady light, brightening her path and those around her. And you, my friend? I'll see you again. On the day of your death.
In shadows I walk. I've been here from the start. I am the hand that seals fate, the end of every heart. I'm no villain nor hero. I'm the peace amidst the pain, the angel who